right now on UCB Innovation Inc.
Nobody wants to watch old people. You. How old are you?
21.
You look horrible for your age.
The dick down part isn't necessarily the funniest part.
If instead of saying the word dicked down, if it was more like fucked.
Yeah, fucked by a bag of rocks might work.
Get him a little drunk and make sure
that he meets a woman
and he cheats on Caitlin.
Did you ever stop and think, like, what's the point of all this?
No, I'm sad.
I should have wore a jacket. I'm a motherfucking skeleton.
There's gold up in them there hills.
What?
Nothing, let's get fucking rich.
Bros. Lady bros. I am psyched to be joining the Brotherhood here as your lead innovator. As you know, my name is Vinny Von Van, and I created Frat Bro Lols back in my dorm room in 01. Frat Bro Lols is, today, the #1 provider of misogynistic immature content in the entire interwebs.
Sorry, is it true that you were removed as CEO for doing bong hits during job interviews?
That is actually false. I was selling weed during job interviews.
Okay, that's not better.
It doesn't matter. It was 6 months ago. That's ancient history. I've done a deep dive into your content, and I am super hyped to show you the new strategy for how to make dope-ass content. Making content is about what's next. If your idea is about what's currently happening, you're too late. I want everybody here to stop thinking in the present and start thinking in the future. Get it? Exactly. Because when people get it, that means it's an old idea. And I don't want old ideas. I want young ideas, played by young people. Nobody wants to watch old people. They're disgusting. Never cast anyone in any of your innovations over the age of 21. And I don't want anyone working here over the age of 22. You. How old are you?
21.
You look horrible for your age. I've been watching a lot of your innovations recently, and I just gotta say, there's too much thinking required. People don't log on to the interwebs to freaking learn a gay thing. They go on it to get dumber, aight?
That can't possibly be true.
That's exactly the kind of thinking that needs to stop now. Don't challenge Papa with your facts and your ideas. Just serve me up a heaping pile of cliches and nut shots.
I love nut shots.
Hell yes you do, my man. Here's a trick for you. Replace the dialogue in your skits with grunts.
Grunts?
Exactly. If your characters can express themselves through grunting and it still makes sense, you got yourself a winner. Which brings me to my final point.
Do you want us to do more sex stuff in our content?
Here!
No.
I think I got it.
Exactly. Now let's go out there and create some freaking content, bros. Sick.
Ow. Ow.
Freaking love content. Freaking love cocaine.
A real comedian performs for real people. Then a fake moderator leads a real focus group while they watch.
In my work as a fake researcher, I'm often asked, what makes something funny? It's actually the most common question I get from the fake students at the pretend class that I teach at the university in my head. I've got a whole backstory for this character. So we've decided to answer that question by inviting people from the internet to take part in a focus group and bring in popular stand-up Mary Beth Barone. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
I'm Mary Beth. Hi, I'm Mary Beth Barone. I'm 26 years old and I'm a Gemini, rising Sagittarius. People tell me my humor is smart, and I'm like, yes, but am I pretty? That's one of my jokes. I would say I have pretty dry humor. It can get dark at times. I do some sex material, sex jokes. As a woman in her 20s who is single, a lot of my life outside of work and comedy is interacting with men.
I see that you're also crafting a persona as America's stepdaughter.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
Well, it kind of came about, I have this joke about my parents being married still and how I identify as a stepdaughter even though I'm not one.
And what sort of feedback are you hoping or expecting to get today?
I find that the best comedy critics are ones who hardly ever see it. So I'm really excited to hear what they have to say about my act.
Well, let's dig in.
Great.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, everybody. My name is Nate Russell. I'm not a doctor, but I play one on television. That was a joke. That's the last joke you'll hear from me. Trust me, okay? But not the last joke you're gonna hear today. Because we're here to study this question. What makes something funny? In this room, we have a couple of things I'll present you towards. A bust of William Shakespeare, normal. Put a silly little hat on it. Funny?
I wouldn't find that funny. That's just silly.
I agree. It needs to be relatable.
A skeleton wearing aviator sunglasses. Is that funny?
No, it's just not funny because it's like, okay, this is some guy's prop trying to be funny.
That's not funny to me, but the idea of putting something very serious against something silly can make people laugh generally, even though that doesn't, you know.
How about you, Joseph? Funny?
Not that funny.
They didn't seem to think that my prop comedy was funny, which is weird. Let's see what they think of Mary Beth. All right, please welcome Mary Beth Barone.
Hi, wow. Thank you guys so much for coming. Did you guys know that this is the show that's gonna make me famous? Yeah, it's really exciting. When I walked in the room, it seemed like the participants didn't know what was really going on. I don't think they were expecting to see someone do a 10-minute set. My dad's a doctor, my mom's a nurse. They met in the emergency room at St. Vincent's Hospital. This Friday, actually, they'll be celebrating their anniversary. They did get married on 4/20 because they're a couple of freaks. And they will have been married 44 years, which is incredible, yeah. It's great for them, but I feel like a bit of a missed opportunity for me because I would have done great work as someone's bitchy stepdaughter. Like, Rick, you are not my dad. Thank you. It's just a small taste of what I'm capable of. And when people find out I have 5 siblings, they often assume that we are Catholic, which is correct. We were raised Catholic. I am Reformed Catholic now. We're called atheists. It's a very supportive community. I went to Catholic school where they taught us abstinence-only education. And that uses the word education pretty loosely, because that implies that you learn something. It would be kind of like if you showed up to driver's ed and they were like, don't drive. And you're like, okay, but we're gonna drive and we just wanna do it safely. And they're like, do not drive. And you're like, okay, but the law says we could drive and we're totally gonna do it. And they're like, don't drive until you're married and even then don't enjoy it. And now things have really changed. You know, I have sex whenever I want. It's like very brave. But I may have gone too far in the other direction because sex for me at this point is kind of like getting in an Uber. I'm just like, shh, no talking. You know, this will be quick. I don't really need to get to know you. I would say the biggest difference is that afterwards, at least Uber follows up to see if I enjoyed my experience. I think I maybe have slept with too many people though, because like at some point I'm gonna have to answer to the fact that I've had sex with 3 people named Kevin. 3 people named Kevin. I had sex with someone who's in really good shape recently, and I don't mean like he works out. I mean he looked like Brad Pitt from Fight Club, just very chiseled. He was a very attractive man, and the sex was painful. Yeah, just like really hard body, not good. I sent my roommate a photo of him from his Instagram. He's wearing a bathing suit. And my roommate said, wow, what did it feel like to get dicked down by a pile of rocks? Not great. I really believe that modern dating is not for me. You know, when people say they would have done better in a different time, in a different decade, I definitely think that's true. I would have done better in the 40s or 50s, where you would fall in love really young, and then he would go to war and die. And then you would just kind of settle for someone else. Maybe his brother or a neighbor, something like that. Just seems like it would have been simpler. I've been working out a lot recently. I'm trying to get in shape. But it turns out that being in shape just means that your body hurts all the time. Whenever I'm working out, it's just quite a painful process. And like, I did a boot camp, and the next day, like, I sneezed and my back hurt, you know? So it's just, like, it's tough. There's also always laundry to do. So as you can probably tell, I'm pretty busy with working out, comedy, and I'm not super worried. Like, if comedy doesn't work out, I, of course, have, like, a backup plan. I can be a stripper, right? I'm lucky that as a woman, I have that option. Men don't have that. Well, there's no industry where a man can walk in at any intelligence level and just get a job, except for finance. You guys have been an amazing audience, and I want to thank you so much. That's my time. Thank you.
Mary Beth Barone.
Not the best set I've ever had, but not the worst. Not the smallest room I've ever played to either. Now they're gonna dish on me. Wait, she's talking already.
What did you want us to write down, like, what was funny, what wasn't funny? At what point did she get funny?
Anything that strikes you? The reaction to Mary Beth seemed mixed, so I decided to run through an exercise that I made up. A ball of foam.
Oh my God.
Take a hunk of it and sculpt something with it that represents how that set made you feel and your thoughts about it. And then we'll talk about that sculpture. Cool, so let's just go down in order. So Tom, what did you sculpt for us? Let's hold it up so we can see it.
I felt like it was that it was flat and really safe, but that it had moments that were funny.
How about you, Ann?
This is a question mark, like, she's not quite sure.
Hold on. Hold it up. Now it's a question mark.
Right. She wasn't funny. There were only a couple of things that were interesting. Were you curious to watch her and see what happens? You know what I mean?
So a literal question mark you sculpted there. Not much representation needed in that one. How about you, Liza?
I put like kind of like a flat plane also and just like a little hill where it was like kind of funny.
And this is just a really messed up question mark.
So I was trying to like do like a line with like points where it was funny and points where it drops, but it came out looking like this kind of thing.
Let's dig into what worked, what didn't work.
What I didn't think was funny was kind of like played out like the Amy Schumer type like sex talk thing. Like that's already like someone else's thing, or that's how I felt.
Gotta get her shtick. Okay.
Yeah, I felt like I've heard it so many times before, so it's like seemed played out.
Okay.
I guess Amy Schumer has a monopoly on all sex humor now, so that makes sense.
She's more like Ellen than Amy Schumer. She would be good talking about the everyday absurdities of life and her observations, and that didn't work for her, that kind of.
More like Ellen. That is a first for me.
Not to sound sexist, but
Whenever I hear I don't mean to be sexist, but I just can't wait to know how that sentence is gonna end.
like when it comes to sex jokes for me, I don't know. Women are not that funny, in my opinion.
I'm sorry, did you just say women aren't funny?
Oh no, all right, so I'm not saying like women aren't funny.
Women are not that funny.
I'm just saying in particular with like sexual jokes, sexual humor, it's harder for me to laugh at like, I guess a female comedian, but that's not to say that like they're not funny. Like,
This guy is not woke, he just admitted that.
I just think that women aren't supposed to be sexual, that generally that it's threatening to a lot of people. It just made me feel like she was sort of desperate, and I cringed.
Wow, these people are not woke.
I don't think it's like sex jokes. I think it's like I had sex with 3 Kevins. Like, okay, it's like not that funny. You know what I mean? Like,
she doesn't think it's funny that I had sex with 3 people named Kevin, but that is funny.
Falling back on a stripper job. It could have been funny the first time you heard it, but if like everyone keeps repeating it, it's not funny anymore because it's like played out.
Plus, the stripper joke coming from this little clean-cut beanpole of a girl with like no body. I'm sorry. I was just like, honey, you would starve.
She said I would starve. That's actually really nice.
Let's move on to a section that felt like it did land. The phrase that sticks out to me is dicked down by a pile of rocks.
It was a dick down. That wasn't interesting. I hadn't actually heard that. And it's like, I got dicked down by, okay. That I thought was funny. It was a new way to describe it.
Anybody else? Does it hit, not hit?
Didn't hit for me.
The nurse is once again not impressed.
And you said before that you didn't like stuff that was crass.
Yeah.
Is that why it doesn't hit for you?
I think also the delivery.
The dick down part isn't necessarily the funniest part. I think it's like the whole like bag of rocks thing ties it in. Like it's okay, so it's not that pleasant or comfortable an experience.
So if instead of saying the word dicked down, if it was more like fucked.
No, dick down was funny because.
But you find dick down funny. You find dick down not funny.
Well, yeah. Fucked by a bag of rocks might work. The whole point of the exercise is, right, if you're a girl, you aspire to get with somebody that's just like ripped.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And then the fact that he could actually like hurt, that's the part that was funny and almost gratifying in some way.
I think if she said like whatever, her dick down by a pile of rocks, she's like, I'd rather like have sex with like a marshmallow or something, or like added something in to like another metaphor.
I think it would be funnier if she said fucked by, but I think if she said a pillowcase full of rocks or a burlap bag full of rocks or some other word that was kind of like just not just bag, it would be funnier.
Okay. Since they had such strong opinions about Mary Beth's act, I asked the group to punch up her work. Well, let's write a joke for her then.
Oh, God.
Set up, punchline. What's a joke that works for her?
Like being brought up a certain way and kind of going against those norms.
In Catholic school, they used to tell girls to emulate the Virgin Mary, which is like a really high standard. So something funny could be made out of that.
Interesting take to say that sex humor is played out, but talking about my upbringing, which has been done by Muslim comedians, Asian comedians, Russian comedians, would be something new and refreshing.
So when I went to Catholic school, they told me to emulate the Virgin Mary.
Yeah,
that's her
turns
setup.
out.
Let's go through it. When I went to Catholic school, they told me to emulate the Virgin Mary. Now give me the punchline.
I feel like the punchline would be something sexual now, but then I don't like those jokes.
I went out and bought Madonna's second album.
So I went out and bought Madonna's second album. Anything else? Can we punch that up?
I think they're seeing that writing jokes is kind of hard.
The last thing we're going to ask you to do is pop a rating for the performance that you saw today into this envelope. Number between 1 and 10. Go ahead, it's totally anonymous. I'm going to leave the room, and then you guys can let yourselves out, have a donut, have a coffee on your way out. Have a great day. That was not the easiest focus group I've ever led, but it's okay. I'm a fake professional. Let's see what Mary Beth had to say. All right. So I have your results here. Largely the feedback was, if you're going to talk about sex, you should play up your persona as a man.
Right.
And if you're going to play up your persona as a woman, you should lean into being Catholic with no sex involved.
Of course, so it's less threatening that way.
Yes.
Nobody wants to think of a woman as a sexual being.
Especially not a Catholic woman.
Absolutely not. Reflecting on this experience, I learned that in order to be a successful sex comic, I would have to become a man. That's not something I'm willing to do at this time, so I think it's back to the drawing board.
We also talked a lot about the phrase dicked down by a bag of rocks. The research on this was split. Several people thought you should just say fucked, because dicked down is a phrase that they didn't understand or hadn't heard before, while others felt that
I can see how that would be confusing. Being dicked down is something I say all the time, especially when I'm describing the 3 Kevins that I've been dicked down by.
You did receive a score, average of which became a 5, including this note, 4, but don't give up.
Yeah.
That's for you.
4 isn't passing, but maybe on a curve.
Yes.
I'm not good at math because I'm a woman, but.
Maybe do some jokes about that.
Hey, it's an option.
Yeah, I think that would play well.
69. Shit, I did it again.
Do you ever stop and think, like, what's the point of all this?
You mean like life?
No, just like our jobs.
No, I'm sad.
You know, ever since I was a kid, I always knew I wanted to make content. I didn't have a name for it, obviously, but I don't know, completely disposable media has just sort of always had a place in my heart.
Same. Making daily content for the internet is like being in a conversation where only you do the talking. It's perfect.
Totally. It's just that I've been thinking, like, what happens when robots take over?
Oh, you mean like the singularity?
No, not the world, just like our jobs. I mean, content creation has what, like 10 years before mechanical replacement?
You think?
Definitely. They can make a robot chef and a robot pharmacist, but they can't make a robot who can write a sketch about farts and a list of the top 20 comic book movies.
Good point.
These are some of the most replaceable jobs in human history.
God, that's so depressing.
My whole life has been about making ephemeral nonsense that's not even needed. And what's gonna happen when I'm not needed?
Girl, come on. Just stay positive. You know, at least you're gonna live on in the comment section of whatever you create.
That's kind of nice.
Oh, the HR bot. Hello, I received your email. Unfortunately, that is not how a flexible savings account works.
That's fair.
It would be very funny if a flexible savings account was an account that would allow you to fudge the amount in it, like to impress a mate or apply for a bigger apartment.
Okay, that's actually a pretty good commercial parody.
Is it?
It's happening.
Blockchain! We're gonna live forever. A big part of making money in cryptocurrency is mining, so we decided to travel to the mining capital of the United States, West Virginia.
Yeah, we figured people have been mining coal here for centuries. They might have some insight of what it's like to mine cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Bitcoin Gold.
There's gold up in them there hills.
What's that from?
It's from the character Mulberry Sellers from the 1892 novel The American Claimants by humorist Mark Twain.
What?
Nothing, let's get fucking rich.
Okay. We're here in West Virginia with West Virginia coal miner Carl Winslow. Carl, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Carl, did you know that you share the same name as the dad from the 90s sitcom Family Matters?
I've been getting that my whole life.
Cool.
Now, Carl, what have you learned from mining coal that can be applied to mining cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ethereum?
Nothing.
What?
You guys realize that mining cryptocurrency is nothing like actual mining, right?
What?
Come with me. Come on.
All right.
All right. Be careful. Don't fall. All right.
Carl then explained to us that the mining of cryptocurrency was actually way different than the mining of natural resources.
Yeah, we were way off and totally perplexed.
Carl then explained to us that the process of mining cryptocurrency is actually the process by which transactions are verified and added to the public ledger, also known as the blockchain, and also the means through which new cryptocurrency is released. Anyone with access to the internet and suitable hardware can participate in said mining.
We were still super confused. He said a whole bunch of words we just didn't understand. So we asked him to explain it again.
Carl then proceeded to explain Bitcoin mining to us as if we were 6-year-olds by using simple words and large pictures.
Carl then explained that mining cryptocurrency meant you were essentially providing bookkeeping services to the coin network by verifying transactions and then receiving a small reward for your accounting services by receiving fractions of coins every couple of days.
At this point, we still didn't understand what Carl was saying, but we also didn't want to make things awkward, so we pretended like we got it and went on our way.
We also really wanted to get out of this B-roll montage.
Well, there you have it. I feel like we learned a lot about cryptocurrency mining and a little bit about ourselves.
Yeah, I learned I walk weird on camera.
Until next time, we're the Crypto Boyz, signing off.
In the comedy content business, some ideas are objectively stupid. In New York City, these ideas are handled by an elite squad of comedians so committed that they can will any bit into success. They are too stupid to fail.
Hi, Mom.
Hello, Sam. Look, I want to talk about Caitlin. I think you're lying to me. I think you're living with your girlfriend.
I'm not lying.
Well, I would like proof that you don't live with your girlfriend. How am I supposed to get that proof?
Hold on, 1 second. Hey, man, excuse me. I'm on the phone with my mom. Can you pretend to be my roommate for a second? Will one of you be my roommate right now?
What do you want me to do?
She wants to talk to my new roommate. I don't have one. I moved in with my girlfriend.
Okay.
What's your name? That won't work. What's your middle name? James. Mom, it's James. What's your name? Cece. Mom?
Yeah?
This is Jamie. Yeah, it's right here.
Hello?
Hey, I'm James.
James. Hi. You guys are roommates?
Yep.
All right, because I could have sworn he was living with his girlfriend and not a roommate.
No, that's me. I'm James. Nope, it's just us.
Do you know Caitlin?
I have no idea who that is.
My son told me he got a good deal on the apartment. How much are you guys paying? He said it's a decent deal.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, in terms of New York City.
I don't remember.
Yeah. You don't remember what you're paying? He's telling me that he has this great job, this new tech job. What, I mean, do you ever see him leave for work? Is he ever wearing a tie? What's happening?
Tech job.
Oh, shit. I don't work at Google, but I told her I work at Google.
Because he's lied to me before.
I mean, I think he's got a job. I mean, yeah.
So there's someone giving out free cookies in the park.
You're in the park? You said you were in your apartment.
Yeah, no, he brought the cookies from the park.
What happened? You're living in the park? Look at my son.
Yeah.
Does he look happy?
He does, yeah.
Can you date Sam?
No, I already have a boyfriend.
Are you on Venmo?
No, I'm actually not.
Okay, well, I'm coming in next weekend. I'm taking you to dinner. I'm going to give you $50 cash, and you're going to take you and your boyfriend and Sam and not Caitlin out and just introduce him to somebody new.
Okay, sounds good.
And if you need to, get him a little drunk and make sure
that he meets a woman.
And he cheats on Caitlin.
I can't do that. Sorry. I gotta get going.
Okay, well, look for my payment on Venmo, and you can like it once the deed is done.
We could sort that out. Yeah, I guess we can sort that out throughout the week.
See, Mom? Thank you so much.
No problem, dude. All right. Good luck.
Mom, Google has weird hours.
All right.
It's the internet. You don't...
Okay, bye.
You can meet her next week when you come. Well, are you coming?
Yeah, I'm gonna find the JFK. He said that was safer.
Well, I've heard LaGuardia's trash.
Joe Biden called it a bus stop.
Yeah, and he likes trains.
Monster cash, I got monster cash.
Man, it's cold out here. I should have wore a jacket. I'm a motherfucking skeleton.
Yo, Miro.
You're late.
Check this out.
Is that what I think it is?
Yep, it's lean, promethazine, dirty Sprite, scissor. You wanna drink some with me?
No, that shit will fuck you up.
All the famous rappers drink it.
That doesn't mean you should.
Yeah, it does. When I drink this, I'll become a famous rapper. Then I'll be making monster cash.
Don't do it, man.
He'll learn. When I sip that lean, I feel like a king. Yeah, it's monster cash over everything. My friend tried to tell me not to do it, but I was like, screw it. When I become a famous rapper, it's going down. Oh shit, everything is slowing down.
When I sip that lean, I feel like a king, yeah. It's monster cash over everything. My friend tried to tell me not to do it, but I was like, screw it. When I become a famous rapper, it's going down, down, oh shit. Everything is slowing down.
Hey, where's the chapstick at?
What's wrong with your friend?
He's fine.
When I sip that lean, I feel like a king, yeah. It's monster cash over everything. My friend tried to tell me not to do it, but I was like, screw it. When I become a famous rapper, it's going down, down, oh shit. Everything is slowing down.
Ray, you're drooling, man.
What? Where are we?
We're at a restaurant. Where my food at? Hey, where's my horchata?
We're on a double date with the Cyclops sisters. Well, I guess lean really is bad for you.
Monster cash, I got monster cash.
Attention everyone. Please be informed that Vinny Von Van has been terminated.
That's not surprising.
Also, why is he still here?
Vinny has a statement that he is required to make at this time.
Bros, lady bros, I'm being fired because my working here is a violation of my probation.
You mean probation?
I mean probation. Apologies. Keely, can you mansplain this for me?
Oh, I don't speak bro.
Oh, I can. I interned on Wall Street in college. I'm fluent in bro and asshole.
Wow, she really is good at everything.
When I was removed as CE Bro of Frat Bro Lols,
The largest collection of immature, misogynistic content on the internet.
I was also arrested for selling drugs to job applicants.
A terrible idea.
As part of my settlement with the government,
The legal body that governs all frat dudes.
I was banned from any and all behavior.
That's bro-specific behavior.
Now I have about 6 months remaining of my probation.
That's probation, but a pun.
I was doing fantastic.
Okay, that's fantastic with man put in front of it for some reason.
But when I took on the duties of lead innovator here.
Okay, I can't tell if that's a play on the word dude or if it's a poop joke.
Maybe it's the sense man-marie of working in digital media.
Okay, I'm gonna sit down now.
But I started dealing it again.
Is being a drug dealer a bro thing?
Not alone, but I was doing it in the mail room.
That's the mail room, but he's spelling it M-A-L-E.
Yeah.
Oh.
I still don't get it.
Now, as part of my probation, each of you are permitted to 1 nut shot each.
Seriously?
Serious, he.
Okay, I'll go first.
Gets me every time.
Thanks, Tasha. Bros, lady bros, I am hype to be joining the Brotherhood here as your lead innovator. As y'all know, my name is Man. Which brings me to my final point.
Ow.
I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
I think I liked it.
I gotta wash my hands.
Stop.